Yes, that did already happen. You've heard the intro. This is still the show. We have a special guest today, Josh Cirre. What's going on, Josh?
Hey, I'm super excited to be here. Yeah, I'm a longtime listener, first time caller of Whiskey Web and whatnot. So I was super excited to get the chance to be on here.
Nice, nice. Yeah, we're excited to have you. Can you give a few sentences about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, yeah. So my name's Josh Siri. That's how you pronounce my last name. I've heard all the iPhone Siri jokes there are, probably then some in some ways. But I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I work full time actually with the Laravel team. I'm a content creator and kind of YouTuber, I guess I can be called now in some ways. But yeah, mostly I help out the Laravel team in creating content as well as some open source stuff and customer support.
Cool, cool. And yeah, we should jump into the whiskey, I guess. But before we do, your microphone is very nice and boomy. I'm just curious, what is it plugged into?
It is plugged into Shure SM7B for those listening, and it is plugged into DBX286S, which is like a preamp slash compressor slash noise gate slash everything. So it's all hardware because before I used to have it all be software generated, and I could like have my VST plugins and all that. But if sometimes the delay was terrible, and so now I just can turn it on and not have to touch anything. So usually I don't touch anything. It's funny because I just got a comment or a bunch of comments this morning on a YouTube video about how I need to speak up and talk louder, and they couldn't hear me. So I get the whole
sounds
spectrum
good to me. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Well, what else sounds good? This thing I neglected to open it at all, so we'll see how this goes. But I wanted to show off the box. The box looks cool. Let's see. You tell us about it while I'm opening it,
is
Chuck.
pretty cool. Okay, perfect. Today we're having the Crown Royal 18-year extra rare. I don't know what makes it extra rare, but it is a blended whiskey. So that means it is the youngest whiskey that is in here is 18 years. So it could be some older stuff. We don't know. Also means the mash bills could be mixed up, but the Crown Royal base mash bill is 64% corn, 31.5% rye, and 4.5% malted barley. So apparently it's very bourbon-like, but because it's not made in the United States, it can't be called bourbon. And it is 80 proof. So not very hot, but it is old as shit.
Yeah.
Not my shit. My shit was very young.
That's how they describe you, right, Chuck? Not very hot, but is old as shit.
I was gonna say that could be a good tagline for
yeah, I think that's my two primary characteristics these days.
All right.
Uh-oh. Hold on, you cut out there for a second. For me.
Yeah, your internet is terrible. I don't understand why, but it is.
Okay.
Well, we're dealing with it.
I don't either, but I will. Yeah, we're dealing with it. We'll work on it. You guys just talk amongst yourselves while I figure this out.
There you go.
All right. Look at this here. Let's give it a sniffy sniff.
It definitely smells like a bourbon, like more bourbon-y than most whiskeys I've had.
Yeah, it does kind of like, it doesn't smell super smoky, but it's very sweet smelling. I'm getting notes of rubber basketballs. A little bit of pineapple. I don't know. Just making shit up here.
Yeah. I was gonna say like maybe like my nose is not working at all. Okay. I'm like I smell like caramel stuff, and that's about it.
Well, that's not bad. I think that comes from the corn forward sweetness aspect of it. Let's see.
Oh wow, that's really smooth.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very I think because
it smells
old
a little
and
Christmassy to me.
Oh, does it? I think that's just the season. That's the Christmas tree behind you.
Yeah. It's beginning to smell a lot like Christmas. Sorry, you didn't know you were going to get singing on this when you agreed to it. I do think I've fixed my internet problem, so you are all welcome for that. I'm going to.
Yeah, you look a lot more clear from my side.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. No, now you can see the wrinkles. I'm sorry. It's frightening. You're still a
Yeah,
little
can't you tell
fuzzy.
it to
Did
like
we-
not upload while you're doing this or something? Are you able to pause your uploading? You know what I'm
don't
talking
know.
about? I don't know. Maybe I'm
That's not
wrong.
what I did, but that's okay. I swat the network. For the technical term for the, or the layman's term for the non-technical, is I changed the Wi-Fi network.
There
Hit
you
the
go.
button and switched the other one, the 2.4.
How is
That's
swapping the
gigahertz.
network more like technical than changing the Wi-Fi?
That's why it's funny. Anyway, I'm gonna
Okay.
drink this so I
Do it.
can
You won't.
get through this interview. Not because of you, Josh. You're lovely. I mean,
Thank
Seth. There is something you mentioned while we have this. Ooh, yeah, it is. It's sweet.
It's very
has
sweet.
A little
I
more,
like it.
It has a little more burn than I would have expected, actually, from an 80 proofer. So I know it's there. It's not too like watery. I want something that forces me to sip it a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, not bad. It's interesting. It's a little bit of like, for me, it's got some sweetness in the beginning. It's got a little bit of like big red gum in there flavor to me. And
Not the
then-
soda this time.
No, that's why I said big red gum. It exists, Robbie. I'm going to send it to you. So where I grew up, they had this soda. It was kind of like a red cream soda called Big Red. And,
Big Red.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's
I-
Big Red.
I've heard of it.
So yeah, see, Robert.
Well,
Yeah.
The finish is mild, but the burn is there. I don't know, but it's not.
Yeah, it
it's not
tastes kind of like-
cinnamony.
if you took Crown Royal and made it taste good, it kind of tastes like that to me. It's like if you like normal Crown Royal is very, very sweet and young tasting, and I think like distilling it down for longer is like made it taste like
way to
it brings
go.
out the good parts, and it.
No.
I don't know. I'm pretty pleased with it, honestly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to say I'm.
I really
enjoying
like it.
Yeah.
It tastes to me very like vanilla pine caramel. Like that's what tastes.
Vanilla.
tastes
That's
to me.
it. I feel
Yeah.
like yeah, that's a great point out. I was like, there's some nuance and light in the finish for me, and I think that's more of the vanilla I get. Oh yeah, yeah.
Because usually,
Very
like with
tasty.
like Robbie, what you said with like the Crown Royal, but better. Like the aftertaste, like the very very end feels like that, but the beginning feels incredible, completely different.
Very, very
Yeah.
different. Well, since you're our only listener and you're on the show, nobody is currently listening. So, but just in case later on somebody picks it up, I'm going to explain our highly technical rating system, which is from 0 to 8 tentacles. 0 tentacles being fucking horrible, spit this out. 4, middle of the road, and 8 being amazing, clear the shelves. Yeah, also, maybe you're rich because this isn't cheap. Yeah, so, and we categorize them. You don't have to, but we'll let Robert go first. Robert,
Okay.
the Bruce.
Yeah,
the
speaking of
third.
being rich, I went into the ABC store to get this. They were all dusty on top. And I went to buy it, and the guy goes, "Oh, wow, I haven't seen anyone ever buy one of these." I was like, all right, cool. But anyway, yeah, this is pretty good. I don't really know what category to put it in, having not done any other Canadian whiskeys on the show or any other Crown Royals. I've had a lot of Crown Royals, but not on the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in terms of like super sweet kind of bourbony, this is pretty good for me. I would give it honestly a 7.5, I think.
Wow, that's pretty good. Do you have feels, Josh?
Yeah, I think so. I am very much a bourbon drinker for the most part. Like that's usually my go-to,
Yeah,
especially drinking it neat. Yeah, so like that's what I'm kind of comparing this. This is my first Canadian whiskey though, so nothing to compare it to in that realm, but just solely on the smoothness without it like having too much burn. So because I'm one of those that like too much burn, then I'm like, this is nice. I can taste the flavor, but like I don't want to continually sip it. And so this is, I would say this would be like a 7.2 for me.
Nice. That's very respectable. Yeah, so I have had Crown Royal before. No other than like their standard issue. It's been quite a while too, so I really can't. I remember getting it when I was younger in college, and I thought it was so cool because it comes in this nice bag, which this one comes in a really
A
nice
nicer bag.
actually. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very like feels velvety. I don't know if it is
Yeah.
velvet.
Like you can
but,
make a couch out of this.
yeah, I would sit on this couch. This is, yeah, I don't know if I could categorize it with any other Crown Royal or any other Canadian whiskey, and that's perhaps something I should explore more. I'd always understood Canadian whiskeys to be more more like ryes. So learning that the mash bill of this was more like bourbon is illuminating, and maybe that's something to dig into more. But yeah, as far as like a bourbon goes, this isn't too sweet, but the sweet notes are nice and they're balanced out for me with like some of the spice and just a very clean finish and a little hug without like making me like choke. So I think it's delicious. I plan to share it with friends. It's a little expensive, but it's not crazy. I think it was like 130, give or take, something like that for the bottle. So if you're looking to get something nice, I would say yes, absolutely, pick this up. I think it outpunches some other that are 100, 150, and even above that we've had.
Yep.
So I too am more like a 7.5 for me. I don't know what kind of grouping that is, but I do enjoy this whiskey. I would suggest it to others. I will share it with friends. Make it a little special holiday thing. I would pick this over some other things for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
100%.
I do wonder though, how do you think it would pair with Taco Bell?
I saw you put this comment in the show notes, and I want to know where this comes from because I did do a little digging on Josh, and I didn't come up with anything around Taco Bell. So, and we're both in Phoenix, Arizona, so he should be ashamed of himself if it's what I think.
Taco Bell always all in the guilty pleasure of my of mine. Son, the sets that when I was on junior, even younger, I was always thing. I including remember some I come from family of four kids and so four boys and never when we went out we did not go out much and we did it was like hey you got ordered all 2 items right and I remember when I went to like $3 to them $3 nice and I cool. And oh my god, when I got a job, I was like, oh, I was like, I bought it was $6, $7, $7 kind of things. So I've always been, I could book it down, but damn food, some food, talk about Taco Bell. It's like good to go. I can get 10 things, 20 things, and just have fun, fun. So there was a joke came when the word for stress stuff and kind of out from out forget. Mac had like post a said. Twitter, Reddit, or I think it was just sweet when tweet like it's like here's all fucking last ace. There's a year. Here's like your nation donations have been given. And I put out like a meta tweet and it says here's how I tell Bell budget. Here's how much I spent on Taco last in the last year 7 years. And I just made up our number train. But it was could have been still if everyone really look about Taco. No, I don't talk to Bell much. Maybe like once a week, the other week. See, might last like a lot of people. Some guess, I guess. It's good. Might do like too. Guilty pleasure, fast food place.
Okay. Once every other week is a lot. I'm just gonna say that.
So, yeah, your mic is doing something weird. We may need to say all of that again. But yeah,
my mic.
Yeah, it's like, but I thought it was just me, so I let you keep going.
Well,
and then I asked Chuck, and he was like, "No, it sounds the same."
Yeah, I just thought it was my stuff being fucked up with. Nothing wrong with that. And while he does that, I mean, the translation, hopefully, it does come through. The gist is getting inexpensive junk food, and it is like definitely that. Although here in Phoenix, now partaking in that. I guess I can get it because I'm from the Midwest and like White Castle is kind of that. Like it's fucking garbage, right? Like what cheap little onion cheeseburger, hamburger things. chicken that comes in rings, which it's not supposed to. Chickens do not come out in that way. And you're just like, I don't know, but as a kid or whatever, getting this as like an eat out junk food option. I don't know. I'm still nostalgic for that. Whenever I go home, I get some White Castles. I get Cincinnati chili, but that's something else altogether. And I can kind of dig that.
Cool. Let's see how you're sounding now.
Well, I guess now it doesn't let me change microphones while recording.
Oh, if you hover over Mike, it doesn't come up with
It
a
won't
list?
let you while it's recording. Yeah. We can stop and start again. Hold on.